Okay, welcome again to Chapter 6, where we're going to dive in a little bit into the product drill. But first, there's a couple of do sections that we don't have a drill for. I just want to show you how to do these, especially adding payment methods. So, to add a payment method, again, go into All Lists, and you just click on Payment Method. Here, you would click New and add any new payment methods. So let's go another credit card. Seems like they're all there. Let's do, if we have to, you can click put in the credit card and then click this is a credit card. You can hit save and it will highlight as a credit card, or if it's not, let's say debit card, since we don't have that, don't click that and hit save. Okay, and we'll add these in because these credit cards will eventually be tracked or have any kind of fees that will be taken from them by the credit card companies. So we do want to go ahead and make sure that we have those payment methods in. It's always good to do. Okay. Next is sales tax. Now I think it's already set up for me. Actually, no, it's not. So we're going to go ahead and set up the sales tax. Yes. Alright. So for this company and your beach barkers, they're running on California sales tax, which basically taxes at I think about 9.5% is what we're going to go with, but they really only tax on products. Again, we have to follow the tax law. QuickBooks is actually doing very good at keeping the tax center agencies to update to what is supposed to be taxable and what shouldn't be. So here in the state of Texas, we do have a few services that do get taxed, and other, of course, products, selling a product will get sales taxed. And QuickBooks is actually pretty good at that to update as we go. So let's see if we can run through the whole setup here on the test drive. So first, you gotta hit next, and it actually gonna have us set up the tax agency. So our tax agency is pretty much gonna be California. Let's see what they have on California. And they only have that California Department, so forth and so on. So we're going to click on that one, hit next. Oh, it looks like we're adding add info. Yeah, so for them, they actually have different items. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and make sure all these, again, since there's a little bit different things that are on, we have to keep an eye out. Now, right now, we know it's supposed to be 9.5%. So we're going to actually hit change. Actually, that is not going to do anything. They actually had a little bit of fun here. Okay, continue. Continue. And then view. Like I said, it may not actually show everything right off the bat. A little bit different. But for ours, sales tax is monthly. So hit save. And there it goes. Sets up everything for California. So, sales tax settings. See, there we can edit the rate, 9.5% if we need to. And hit edit. And then we'll change it as we go. And go ahead and make Arizona inactive for me. So for us, there we go. There's our California. Now again, we can actually get local all the way to the point that we would actually send our documents off to the state of Texas or any state that we need to. But that's how we set up our basically state. Now if we need to, and we need to edit the months, we can also edit those. We can tell edit and have the start date when we need to. Okay. Like this will probably be 2021. And then that will save, and that will tell it to start in January. Okay. Now, from here, you would actually make certain items taxable. So how you would do this? Okay, it's a little bit different in our actual book. They've updated this from what I know. So how are we going to mark something that's taxable? So let's go to sales, products and services. Let load. Okay, and rocks, as you can see, is clicked as taxable. So something that probably wouldn't be, but let's go inventory, edit. Alright, so here's our nice little list, and this is our sales tax. Okay, so if it's a non-taxable item, we'll click non-taxable. If it is taxable, we do click taxable standard rate. It will change. Okay, it's all you need to do to make it taxable. Okay, that's really it. Don't have to actually make a sales tax category or click on a taxable box. They just made it a little bit more simpler than what our book is showing. So again, all you have to do is click taxable standard rate. It's a big old change that happened with everything that was going on. Alright, so now going through all of that, we're going to go ahead and dive into a little bit of inventory. Yes, the fun thing that we have. So remember, for sales tax category, you just select taxable standard rate. Okay, so this thing actually uses FIFO, which is known as first in, first out. Basically, when we talk about inventory and talk about any inventory process, like in 2301, we would have basically different ways we value inventory. Online QuickBooks only does it one way. That's FIFO. Now, hopefully they do add something else like LIFO or weighted average, but we're going to keep using FIFO. And if you need an example, best examples I would say is grocery stores. Okay, grocery stores, you kind of want to sell the product that comes in first, or it's going to expire, right? It's perishable. Some companies, that's how we design. First products in are the first products out. Does that mean that they're always the ones out? No. But we're going to assume that those were the ones out, and we're going to use the cost that was to purchase them to basically get that product. So what we're going to do, since they're basically adjusted by this, is we're going to basically view quantity on hand products and set up some. Okay? Don't worry. It's going to be fun. We all think. Alright. So the first thing that we want to do out of this little setting is we're going to go to reports. And if you haven't done an inventory valuation summary, we're going to do one. And you know how I like to do it. I just like to search it. It's a little bit easier than actually go find it. Now you can find it if you want to under the sales and customers category, but just looking it up is still good. So for me, I'm going to always use the current date. For your beach barkers, make sure you're using the correct date whenever you're pulling any of these reports. The only reason why I'm using current date is, of course, that this is the test drive and things change. So on here, we can actually see, turn that down, quantity. How much do we have of each one? The value of those, and basically the calculation average. So right now our total asset value of pumps is 250. We have 25 on hand. That's our quantity. So basically they're about $10 each. Okay. So basically all that's doing and telling us right here is letting us know how much do we have. Okay. See what's next on the horizon. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and actually sell some of this inventory. So in order to do so, we're going to go ahead and click on an invoice. So let's go look at invoices. Invoicing again as it slowly loads, and hopefully allow me to see my customers. If not, then we know we're probably going to have a little bit of tough time. If it does, if it doesn't, it's fine. So yay, let's just do it. So we're going to select customer Travis Waldron. There he is. There he is in Monlo Park, California. And his email is travis@waldron.com. Works for me. Alright. So again, make sure you always keep the date like the book says. Again, everything's in 21. And again, since test drive is how test drive is, we're going to keep it current. Alright. So for us, we need to report that he has bought a few items. He has bought one pump. So let's find our pump. Okay. Quantity 1, notice that does show taxable. Okay. He also bought a rock fountain. Also one, should be $275. And then lastly, he bought some rocks. Because you can't have a rock fountain without some rocks. And he had 25 of those. And we put it at $50. Those are some expensive rocks to be one at $50. But beggars cannot be choosers. Now, Notice that we do have our taxable subtotal, which is $1,540. We have our sales tax in, and we will click on those. For sales tax, there is no discount yet. We haven't talked about discounts. But it will actually calculate the sales tax for us, which is awesome. And gives us our final total. Okay. So that's always good right there. Now, on this invoice, just to show you how it's going on. And also, you can see the math if you ever want to look at the math. There's exemptions. But there's certain items that we can do. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and add to it, and you're going to see a little bit of changes going on. We're going to go ahead and add 4 and 5 hours of design. Now, will there be a change? Will there not be? Yeah. So, design, and we're going to add 5 hours. Notice that subtotal has changed, but the taxable subtotal has not. Reason why, again, only these 3 items are taxable under California law, and design was not. It's a service. So it's not taxable, thus the tax does not change. Tax will stay the same because that's all we got is taxable. It's actually pretty nice. Alright, now we're going to learn how to create a bundle. Bundling! Let's go ahead and hit save and close. Close that out. Okay, we're going to access the product and service list. So again, we can go list. This one's already here, so we're going to click products and services. Now we're going to actually do a bundle, and bundling is always good because it allows us to add a slight discount if you choose all these services. Again, a little bit cheaper for them, and it gives us more products. Basically, looks cheap sometimes too. Anyway, you're going to end up going to new, and you're going to click bundle. I like it. It has 2 shirts. Again, there's inventory, non-inventory, and services. We are going to click bundle, and we're going to give this a nice one called the sprinkler package. Okay, and in the sprinkler package, we're going to have a few items. What are we going to throw into this one? So, we're going to make sure it displays the bundle first. Then we're going to add in sprinkler pipes. Make sure all quantities are 0. Sprinkler heads. Again, this allows us to put the quantity in later on. And then of course, installation. Installation. Okay. Once we have all these in, we're going to hit save and close. And now that we've saved and closed it, it does show us that the bundle has been saved. And there it is. Sprinkler package bundle. Yay! And we can always edit it if we need to by clicking edit. Okay. So we're going to prepare an invoice. New invoice to use this new bundle. Every time I hit bundle and save, I'm starting to think of Progressive. Yes, that's a catchy little thing that they got, jingle. Okay, so we're going to make it for Kate Willen. There they are. And let it load. And we're going to put in this product our sprinkler package. There it is. Notice that it has loaded up all 3 items for us. Bundling also makes it a lot easier for us, to be honest. So, there's our package. And we just need to add in our little items. Notice again, 2 of these items are going to be taxable and 1's not. So we had 5 of the sprinkler pipes. Notice that it looks like we have a pop-up that shows us how many are on hand as well. So we only had 5 sprinkler pipes that we used. We had 31 here. We're going to use all 25. Okay. And then we're going to add in about 3 hours of design. And then again, here's our tax. That's going on. So subtotal is $220 for the package. $70. Basically these 2 combined. And our tax, again, we have to pop up California. We'll communicate as follows. Again, that's fine. Alright. So, next little items. We're still going on with this drill. The drill is not over yet. The drill is not over. But it's only a couple reports, so let's go ahead and look at the reports as we go. So, save and close. Yay. There it goes. Reports. And we're going to actually look up the actual inventory valuation summary. Again. So back to our inventory valuation summary. Notice now we have no sprinkler heads. They are gone. Okay. Now we're only down a few of other items as well. So we're going to have to eventually restock this. We're going to do that a little bit later. Okay. So last thing that we're going to do before we close up this part is check out our journal. Let's go check out our journal. Okay. So, journal, we all know how to get to it, but of course we're going to show it. And let's go ahead and just make it for today's date. And there we go. There's our 2 invoices that we have just created. Notice right here we have a few accounts. Now if you don't know these accounts, we're going to show you real quick what they are, or basically tell you what it is. I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to tell you. So real quick, we have what has come up new, and that is cost of goods sold, which is right here. If you haven't heard of cost of goods sold, this of course is the actual cost of us either making a product or purchasing before we sold it. So it's all the cost involved to actually getting that inventory item. That's what our cost of goods sold is. Now, it will calculate, and this will help us actually determine how much gross profit we have, because cost of goods sold is subtracted from our sales. We do have our inventory asset as well. So there's our cost of goods sold. Notice that our inventory asset is going to pretty much be the exact same from cost of goods sold, because that's the journal entry. Basically, it pulls out inventory because we no longer have it, and it puts it to cost of goods sold. Again, cost of goods sold is an income statement account, while inventory asset is a balance sheet. And of course, there's the sales. Okay. Now, notice this, we did not get cash because this is an invoice. They would have to pay later, so it goes to accounts receivable, the actual amount that sells off. Here, we also see Board of Acquisition payable. That's our sales tax. Okay. Notice that it's a payable. Yes, sales tax is not our money. Sales tax is, of course, the state's money. All we're doing is collecting for them and then later paying it to them. So make sure you don't spend that money. That's not your money. That belongs to the state or the federal government, depending on how we do it. Like payroll. We'll get into payroll later on. But be careful of this. Okay? It's just good to know the accounts, as everybody wants to be an accountant. You should at least know some of these accounts already. Okay, so that's going to conclude this part. We have finished that. Looks like we're almost halfway through chapter 6. So let's see what will be the next item. Again, you're going to be setting up sales tax. Let's see. Looks like we're going to deal with the delayed charge in the next drill. Delayed charges, inventory list report, credit memo. We haven't done those before. And that looks like that's that part. Okay, so a little simple next part, but we're going to finish up this one. So again, this has been Professor Naragon signing off.